Man, I was so rested I didn't want to get out of bed.
Neither did I. Honestly, we had plans to go places, and we'll still go there, but
the weather did not permit.
And then we were like, what about a pajama party?
Yeah.
And we're like, this fits. So we're doing this instead. Oop. Well, we're back in the apartment.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good time.
We learned a lot. I got to tell people I had my own stage show in Vegas.
That is true. And
we had our own residency, like Brittany.
Yeah, like, listen.
I mean, there was a lot of positives that came out of it.
Yeah, honestly, I think it really like solidified what we needed to do for the show.
Yeah,
and like
we even figured out what we wanted, like as far as the show. Like we figured out, okay, like this is the direction that we've always kind of wanted. And yeah, it could be fun to do a stage show every once in a while. But the whole point is to make sure that our friends in Las Vegas and our like the entertainers, like everybody's got a voice and we show them off.
Yeah, and honestly, like I think when it was presented to us, it sounded like a great idea, and I think it was a good idea. I think there's a level of podcasts are meant to be listened to while in a bathtub and relaxing. You know what I mean? Like, we're in pajamas, we're comfortable. Like, the whole entire thing is for you guys to go grab a drink in your pajamas.
I mean, until we get like Taylor Lautner showing up, like
I'll still wear pajamas at them.
Stage show. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, I mean, and even then I would want like a comfy room. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So we had to learn, we had to play with it, and the only way you can learn is with playing with it. So we do thank, Composer's Room for like letting us be there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Gary Blanton.
Miss Bruce, our piano player.
Phil. Josh. Damien.
Who else? The cook. We never talked to him.
Chef Joe. Yeah.
Listen, like I said, it was a good place, but now we're here. So shout out to the apartment.
Yeah, back here. We went all the way to our stage show to end up back here.
I mean,
but it's fine. I'm. You know what was cool is like I was getting ready and I was like, oh my god, I'm running behind. Oh wait, I don't actually have to leave to go anywhere. I could just chill. I could just get ready and
like I was even like, oh my god, I'm running late. I ended up not being late. I ended up being early, but it
doesn't matter because there's not a set time. We can do this whenever we want,
wherever we want,
which is also part of the plan of this show.
Yeah. So listen, it was really for the best, and it was fun. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. That's all we can do. But what did you do on the break? We had a Halloween.
Halloween happened. So I got dressed up as Taylor Swift, but I was very niche.
Oh, I follow that.
Yeah. I was very
on the show. Yeah.
I was very Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, the man, like from like her, like with the jacket and everything that she wore on the Eras Tour. If she were to announce Reputation, Taylor's version, because everybody knows when she does her shows and she has an album release, she dresses up like when she did the 1989 Taylor's version, the day that she announced that. I don't know how my neighbors didn't call the police because I was watching the live stream, and every time she came out in a new blue dress, I kept screaming, "It's blue!" So I almost swear to God, I did it the whole 3.5 hours. It's blue. So I was like, this is what Taylor would wear if she announced Reputation, Taylor's version, like black bejeweled bodysuit, black for Lover, and a black and silver jacket. I even wore I even had like a snake pin.
Well, I mean, it was on our Halloween show. It was awesome. I mean, listen, we both look great that day.
I definitely did not win the costume contest.
I was about to say, what were the top costumes?
Mark dressed I can't believe this fucker did it. He wore he looked like a burglar, right? And then he had a box of Life cereal.
Oh, he was a serial killer.
Yes, and he had knives sticking out.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those. That's funny. Okay, all right.
And then And then Big Heat, which we all go by our karaoke names over there. He dressed up as Sean Connery in
very niche.
Yes.
Speaking of niche,
in what's that movie where he's like in a submarine?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh fuck! It escapes me. Damn, I'm gonna think about it. My mind is like a lazy Susan, and it'll come back around like Crimson. No, fuck. I'll think of it. Anyway,
that will be with the lazy Susan.
Yeah, the fucking lazy Susan. Back around. And then another girl dressed as Mother Nature. Now this girl I kind of resented because she was a Stonies girl.
Oh,
we write Gillies.
You're like, what are you doing here? Well, she can't go to her own place.
Now, mind you, I work for Porchlight, which Stonies is part of our family. So I was like, bitch, how do you show up to Gillies? Like you never come here. You go to Gillies, and you show up to Gillies for the costume contest, and you win. And she sang really well too. I was so mad.
So was the costume contest based off your singing and costume? Oh, so you had to be a good singer and have a cool costume.
I guess. No, it was based on like the applause from the audience.
Gotcha. So if you were
even though I put a great show on, and actually I like shout out to Drew, the sound guy.
Oh.
He made me sound.
I was about to say, did he have an optimizer on it?
Oh my god!
I noticed Gilly has an optimizer. I even noticed that all the way when we were hanging out all back then. I was like, oh, this is why it's so popular.
Oh my god! Yeah. Because even some like people were like, oh my god, you sounded so great. I was like, nope. Drew fucking hit that.
That's honestly, but that's what makes karaoke. I learned about that on Bar Rescue. Of all fucking places.
When the karaoke hosts can like the sound systems, like they make you sound like a pop star.
You want to do it again.
You're like, oh my god.
And you want to come back.
Yeah.
Because it's exciting. You sound good.
Yeah.
And you want to do it again. And then you're practicing all week and it's fun. It's a thing. No, it's a whole entire like mind fuck, which I totally agree with. Like that's what Vegas is about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me manipulate your brain just a little bit. For you to sing really well. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So Kirk dressed up, the karaoke host.
Oh yeah.
Last year he dressed up as the Joker, and it was incredible. He did so perfect, so good. This year he dressed up as Billy Ray Cyrus, but the problem is he looked more like Joe Dirt.
I thought he was Joe Dirt. Achy Breaky Heart makes more sense.
Yeah, because he sings Achy Breaky Heart in the middle of the set.
Yeah.
In the middle of karaoke.
So, yeah, that was Joe Dirt.
But it was funny because his girlfriend Leilani was Hannah Montana. But I told her, I was like, he should have got a darker wig because he got a blonde one. And Billy Ray Cyrus was like, he had brown hair. And Leilani was like, Jessica, trust me.
That was the argument we had.
It was. She was like, no, you need this one. And he's like, no, I want this one. And she's like, no, that's Joe Dirt. This is Billy Ray Cyrus. And he's like, no, I want this one. And she's like, fuck it, fine, whatever. And so everyone thought he was Joe Dirt.
Yeah, because he looked like Joe Dirt.
Leilani, I was like, Leilani, why didn't you just tell me? Like, I could have been Hannah Montana. I'm a Swiftie. You don't think I got enough glitter fucking outfits and sequined outfits to turn myself into Hannah Montana? Like, I can absolutely do that. You should have just let me do it. So next year, and then I was like, you could have been Dolly Parton. And then we could have been a family.
Oh, yeah.
So next year, the plan is Leilani is probably Miley Cyrus. Okay. And I'm going to be Hannah Montana. And we're gonna be Hannah Montana meet Miley Cyrus, and we're gonna like
your hair even now with the bangs and everything.
and we're gonna do like the back-to-back photo, like the album cover.
That's so funny. You guys need to do a bunch of TikToks. That's gonna be good.
Yes, you can always find your way back home. Like yes, and Rockstar.
Oh my god, no! Yeah. Like you
get the best of both worlds.
Oh my god. And then you have to do one where like it looks like she's taking off her wig and then you show up.
Yes. Like the transition.
Yes. Or just putting on her wig, or you know what I mean, the other way around. Whoever the fuck is doing whatever.
Jake, you don't know this about me, but I'm Hannah Montana. or like when she's back home in Tennessee, like, I can't do this to you guys. I can't do this with you. I can't lie to you. So I'm Hannah Montana. You'll keep my secret? If you've seen the Hannah Montana movie, you absolutely know that reference.
I've never understood, like, even as a kid.
I actually kind of want to watch the Hannah Montana movie.
Listen, my favorite is Camp Rock because Demi Lovato's all coked out in it, and you can just tell.
Oh my god! I saw Deadpool last night.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Oh my god,
it's silly.
The amount of references.
Oh yeah.
Like, he was like, don't tell Blake, or like,
yeah,
or like in the very first scene, he's like sitting there with like a skeleton, and he like calls him Hugh, and I was like,
there was a couple things I was like, you need to go away.
And then Jennifer Garner, and then when like Jennifer Garner's in it, right? And they were like, yeah, all these other superheroes died, like including Daredevil, and Jennifer Garner goes, yeah, that's fine. I was like, oh my god.
Stop it. No, that's bad. No, it was pretty funny. Vegas Baby loves Deadpool. I mean, he loves superheroes. And so Nathan's like, I want to watch something funny. And then, that's how that happens. But no, I don't know. Speaking of superheroes, though, Vegas Baby went trick-or-treating. He was Batman.
Oh my god, those videos were so cute. I couldn't even deal.
Hands.
They were holding hands. Like, come on, let's go get candy. I was like, my nephew's growing up.
Olaf was, I mean, they're using their real names. But the children were. Olaf was telling Batman, he was all like, come on, Batman, let's go get candy. Come on. And then Olaf was more afraid of all the Halloween decorations. Vegas Baby does not give a fuck. That kid loves Halloween.
That kid has grown up with Chucky and his
literally he's a Chucky.
Literally a life-size Chucky doll in his bedroom.
Yeah, it's in the game room now. But like he's a Chucky sympathizer. When Chucky gets hurt on TV, he goes, "Oh no, Chucky! Oh no!" It's okay.
Oh man, that little boy's gonna be my best friend.
But yeah, so he's
gonna be Brittany's best friend too.
Right? So he's like he really likes like scary things. So he wasn't afraid to go up to the doors, but Olaf was a little afraid. So they held hands to go up to the door together to be brave. It was cute. But yeah, he's had a lot of candy, and the kid is like cracked out on candy. It's like the worst time of year, and I totally ruined my diet and gained 3 pounds from just eating all the candy.
I got so much candy, and like, you know what was cool is like,
Did you guys have any trick or treat?
So Halloween. No, I was at work. So speaking of work, though, I was working at Jimmy Kimmel's, and they've been really there's been like a really cool like shift lately. Like my AGM texted me on Wednesday, late Wednesday, and she's like, I need Halloween recipes, and I was like, oh, and she's like, we're gonna do a Halloween menu, and I was like, oh,
okay.
Now of course it's late, and I'm like,
yeah,
I can't. Well, I have a whole bar over here, but I'm like, I don't. So I ended up just going with like the magic margarita, which was like the mezcal and the creme de violette that I wrote for Late Night Magic.
Yeah.
And then Beetlejuice, which that cocktail made the local news.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I got to watch my bar manager make it on TV while I sat at home and watched.
That's all right. Well, that's what the manager does.
It's fine. I'm not bitter about it at all. But also Adele's team chose it for their part. Like, those are the 2 cocktails that were chosen for Adele's Halloween party. Nice. And so like and the glitter that came with it, like, I was like, thanks Joy for buying me glitter. She goes, I didn't buy you that glitter. Adele bought you that glitter. So now that is my biggest flex is Adele bought me cocktail glitter. So thank you, Adele.
You gotta like save a little baggie of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is Adele's, and like label it.
Adele's cocktail glitter. So anyway, that's how I sold them. But anyway, so it was cool because like they put on this screen that's behind the bar, they put like Halloween cocktails, and they wrote, they put my cocktails down there, and then they reposted them on the Jimmy Kimmel Instagram. Yeah. And they were all my recipes, and I just got to just do my thing. And so then those cocktails were so popular on Halloween that they're like, okay, we're going to do it again. Oh. And they want to do a fall menu.
Which, how long have you been asking for a specialty menu at Jimmy Kimmel's?
So many, so long, so many months.
Literally, I remember this conversation last year of like, "Hey, we should do this," and they were like, "I don't know about that."
Well, Tira gave me, because I made the pumpkin pie martini, and Tira, like, she had it for me, like she had like a little laminate of it,
okay.
and then gave it to like the upstairs bar so they could make it upstairs.
Gotcha.
But this year there's an actual menu with like we're doing like, because we had a Halloween menu like on table tents this year.
I see.
Just for downstairs, because there wasn't time.
Yeah.
There wasn't time for the upstairs service well bartender to learn it, but now like they gave the upstairs. So Tira ordered all the ingredients, and so now like she gave the upstairs bartender. There's 3 cocktails, and there's a pumpkin pie martini, which again it's similar to the one we have at Vic's, but I made it differently to like fit it. But it's the same. It tastes like pumpkin pie. Ooh. And then from the Mrs. Doubtfire menu that I wrote on Father's Day, or one of the cocktails that me and AJ wrote on Father's Day, it was crown apple with cinnamon syrup and chocolate bitters. Ooh. And a torched cinnamon stick.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's on there. And then
very folly.
Yes. Yeah. And then actually Brittany, funny story, who doesn't work at Jimmy Kimmel's anymore, but she had like this apple cider like margarita thing, and it looked really cool, so Tira kept that.
Okay.
So that's gonna start as soon as we get all of those ingredients in.
Nice. When is that happening? Like
probably next week when we get them in. But yeah, so they are focusing more on like, again, like letting me do some stuff. Yeah. And because I put a lot into, like, I'm there 3 days, but I put a lot into those 3 days. I'm at Vic's 2 days a week, but I put everything into it.
Well, also you have a platform to learn, and this is kind of the platform we did with composers. It was like, we have this platform, we learned a lot from it, we're going to take the opportunity while we can take it, and go with it.
Yeah.
And that's, they're giving you an opportunity to learn your craft. It's not going to hurt you.
No.
I mean, take the opportunity.
It's becoming a thing now where, like, on Fridays when I work with Phil, he's like, anytime anybody asks for an old fashioned, well, Jessica's the best bartender in town, she makes the best old fashions. I'm like, thanks, Phil. And then like Phil's good for like regular like cocktails or whatever, but when it comes to somebody ordering something like
super fancy,
he's like, hey Jessica, can I pimp you out to make this one cocktail? And I'm like, yeah, I got you. Or
I was gonna say, he made good cocktails for us, and I was like, wait, hold on a minute, I didn't order any cocktails. It was either wine or my Jack and Coke.
Yeah, he made my green tea on the rocks really good. But that's a green tea shot on the rocks. Like that's pretty easy. But yeah. So they're being more like supportive and really like, and it's been really great the last few months lately. So.
That's good. I mean, honestly, I'm just glad we got a nice break. We got to like,
oh my god, But you know what? I also didn't really get a break because I wanted to stay home and do nothing, but it was election night and my uncles were like, what time are you coming over?
Listen, same. I was like, I still had to edit a bunch.
I was like, so it wasn't really a day off?
Well, it's funny because that's why I asked you originally. I was like, do we want to take 2 weeks off or just 1 week? And I'm glad we did the 1 week. I like getting back into our routine. We only have like 4 more shows left for the year.
Oh, my God, I mean, think about that.
Like, we only have like 4 more shows left for the year. So it's like, we need to do it. We need to not take our break. But like, because also the holidays are gonna get confusing too, so it's like, anyways, but I
can't wait to film some content on New Year's Eve.
I know.
I'll be at Brewdog with Crystal.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, I think we're doing a spa day at Aria. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna hang out on like the Japanese beds or whatever the fuck they are. I don't know.
You guys aren't gonna get anything.
I wanted to get like my hair and makeup done, and she's like, cool, that's like $400. I'm like, I'm out.
It's got a sweetness massage.
I'm out. I just want a massage. I honestly just kind of wanted a massage.
I'd look into it, but I think it is like $200.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
so I've been doing.
That's but that's kind of what I spend on massages anyway, and I only get them done like once a year. I only get.
Yeah, I think if like, to me, massages are totally worth it. I've been learning a lot. Like the last time I got a massage, I realized I'm not trying to get like knots and bolts out. I just want somebody to rub on my body for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, like I don't want to be
Well,
uncomfortable.
see, but I have those nuts and bolts in my body because I'm a bartender.
You need them, and so like, but yeah. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, because I've been doing a deep dive. The freaking dream of mine for Mother's Day is to get a hotel room with a beautiful view of the Strip and a beautiful bathtub. That's all I want. Bellagio's got them. You know what? Who has got a great fucking bathtub is New York, but it looks like a Motel 6 inside of there with a gigantic jacuzzi bathtub. So it's like, do I want the jacuzzi bathtub? Yes. Would I like the Bellagio a little bit more? Yeah.
Is Jessica getting ideas for Mother's Day?
I gotta listen. My mom's on board too because this is the goal. Are you ready for this?
Do I just get with your mom then?
Honestly, maybe this is the dream: to go into check into the hotel. I'm gonna open up the windows. I'm gonna look at the Strip. I'm gonna go, oh my god, the peasants,
dude.
And then I'm gonna open up the room service.
You know what I'll do? How about this? For Mother's Day, I'll just get dinner at Mayfair for us.
Well, see, I don't want to go to dinner.
But Mayfair is like...
I understand. I'm going to be going to that in December with my mom. Yeah, she knows.
Oh, she does know. Oh, so you are doing that?
Yeah, I am doing that.
Okay. So you're not doing Top of the World. You're doing Mayfair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you off camera because there's lots of surprises for Yaya. But then I open up and then I get a bunch of room service and I take about 60 milligrams of edibles. And then I don't remember the rest of the night because I'm so high.
And you're by yourself.
I'm by myself in bed. And I sleep in. So yeah, that's the dream. But you know where I won't be staying is Planet Hollywood.
God damn it. When are people gonna fucking learn? When are people going to fucking learn?
It's so funny because we talk about it.
We talk about it so
much. It
fucking
blew up too. We got so many views on that.
I know.
So many views. And like even people in the of our video was like, yeah, it's pretty fucking gross. It's fucking disgusting.
So that is why me and AJ ended up at Vic's.
Yeah, so really gross. And then Ocean One, who had an eviction notice, just got 28 plus citations and has a C rating.
Did they find rats?
Yes.
Oh, they found the rats?
They found some rats. Yeah.
The rats. Also, if you know about Planet Hollywood and the Miracle Mile shops. I'm not talking about the Rainforest Cafe or any of the stuff that's
honestly
on the outside.
Point, I feel like it's got to be infected too. There's no way you have that much of a problem on one area of your house and not the other.
Well, I don't know. I haven't.
You haven't experienced.
I haven't experienced it because I really haven't been there. But because it's kind of on the outside. The Miracle Mile is on sort of the inside. I don't know, those back hallways, man. Walking through those back employee hallways are, and it's so funny because I some of the employees at Pompous had they would come in the front door. We weren't supposed to, but they would come in the front door, and I always wondered why.
Gross.
Nobody wanted to see rats before they came into work.
Yeah, they got a C rating.
And Ocean One was right next to Pompous.
Yeah, they got a C rating, and it was for hand washing and stuff too. Really basic stuff.
My hands are all fucked up and dry, and my nails break
all off.
I can't. I get my nails done, and I fucking can't keep my nails on, they don't stay, they're constantly breaking because I wash my hands 100 times a day.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's it's so hard. But yeah, they got the rating in the comments. Oh my god. So I sent it to Jessica because I saw it on Facebook, but it was from the Instagram page that we follow that shows all the demerits and stuff. And so in the comments on that one, it was finally they're getting attention. That place is gross. I've gotten food poisoning from them. Everyone said the food was horrible, and the only reason why they go is for the cheap drinks.
Yeah,
cheap drinks. Because apparently you can go 3 for the price of 1 now.
Yeah,
so it's ridiculous. But what I thought was really interesting, it made me kind of think about it, was, do we think the old health inspector got caught?
Yeah.
and fired, and now there's a new one in there.
Yeah.
And he's just kicking ass because like there's a lot of places that have been getting shut down.
And if that's the case, then Pompous is on its way out.
Listen, I don't understand how you can have that many rats and it be like, I'm sorry, 200 comments, 200 local comments is a lot of locals in Vegas. And there's 3 degrees of separation in this town. So, like, for 200
we all know each other.
Yeah, exactly. For 200 people to say, like, this place is fucking gross, I will never be here again, says that the eviction notice was because they didn't have a lot of people. And people are starting to really catch on to this rat thing in Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, it's so gross. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Like, why?
I mean, we have a rat problem in this town anyway, and especially with like
city.
especially with like construction and everything with F1, but it's a year-round thing.
Yeah, it's a big city too. I mean, when you have so much trash everywhere, like we do, it's like it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Speaking of taking out trash,
I can't believe what happened this weekend. I cannot believe what happened this weekend. I sent you the videos.
Yeah, listen, I even talked to my friend Lorenzo, who's a diehard Broncos fan, and it was so. I'll tell you after you.
Okay, so this is what happened. So the Chiefs, are undefeated. They are 9-0.
Taylor Swift, say, like, it's kind of like the Tom Brady effect. I now want them to lose. I'm like, can you guys just lose? It'd be nice.
Right. Yes, they're the new Patriots.
Yeah, I'm like,
they're the new Patriots for sure. They are the new Patriots for sure. If Taylor Swift at this point wasn't the first lady of football, I would not. I would be that same way.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I cannot believe I witnessed this. So the Chiefs were down the whole game against the Broncos. Now the Broncos have been playing really well since they got rid of Russell Wilson. Ironic, Russell Wilson is the quarterback for the Steelers now, and he's doing great.
Yeah,
so I think it's like
dance he did.
I think it's a little. What happened?
Didn't he do a little dancey dance?
Maybe
there was a video I saw, and he was like,
but Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson, I think, is more cohesive with the Steelers than he was with the Broncos, and I think that was his problem, you know. Yeah. But oh my God! So they were down the whole game. They only scored 1 touchdown. The Chiefs did. The rest was field goals.
Yeah.
So basically, Harrison Butker won the game for them.
Well, what's really funny too, because Lorenzo was all like, "Well, technically, if you look at the Broncos, our quarterback outplayed their quarterback."
Oh. 100%.
I was like, okay, Lorenzo, 100%. Whatever, you talk 100%. Up.
100%. No.
That's
100%. So the Broncos did not come to fuck around. The Broncos sacked Patrick Mahomes 5 times. You would have thought they were playing the Cincinnati Bengals. Sorry, Joe Burrow, but you need a better offensive line. And I love you, and I have a giant painting of you right fucking here.
True.
But
I don't know if you can see it though.
It's true. So Patrick Mahomes got sacked 5 times. I've never seen Patrick Mahomes get sacked that many times. I usually see him slipping out of a sack attempt, and he throws the ball. And I swear to God, that man just slips out of a tackle.
He's like a cat,
and he just looks up, throws the ball, and hopes for the best. I swear to God. So he threw 1 touchdown the whole game, and it was to Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay.
Taylor Swift, who looked like she owned Arrowhead Stadium. It was oh my God, her outfit. But anyway, we realized she only lately this season has only gone to home games, because going to away games is it's way more difficult.
You know what? Also, the relationship, we've been doing this for a year now. I did it originally. I have a job to do. I'm tired.
But yes, but also
a big job to do.
But also, there's a lot of security measures and shit that have to be taken. There's a lot of things happening.
It's so much work.
But they know. But it was with Arrowhead. It's routine now, so it's easier. So, and again, I bring up Taylor Swift because of this. So then the Chiefs were down. It was 13-12. And the Chiefs scored, or no, wait, it was 16. So it was 13-13. and or 13-14, something like that.
13 to
It was
14.
13-14. Chiefs finally got ahead because of a field goal, 3-point field goal, and it was the end of the game. There was like 3 seconds or some shit like that left on the clock. Broncos go for a field goal. That field goal would have made it 17-16. By some crazy fucking miracle, got blocked.
It was truly like it was crazy. Even the camera was following nothing.
I literally no, I know. I was like, where's the ball? And then you see like the Broncos have the same reaction. Yeah. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah, the camera went with it, and then it went whoop because the ball was not over.
Nobody realized. Like, way to go, Leo, bro! Like Leo on the. So they broke through that defensive line on the Broncos and like just jumped over. Oh my god! And then like I can't fucking believe that happened. I can't. That is such a miracle fucking play. And I'm over here, and I'm at Vic's, right? I'm surrounded. My bar's like it's not full, but
yeah,
I have all my regulars. One of my like really like big time gamers was there. The dude that won that hit a 7 spot was there too last week. Where I like
he won good money.
Yeah, so like we're all standing there watching the game like this, and like and then my owner Chris Loudon is literally on like in the lounge watching NASCAR. He's like, "Can you turn on NASCAR?" I'm like, "Fuck off, dude!" So like, so the Chiefs they blocked that field goal, and I go, holy shit! And like my whole bar, like one of my other top 5 gamers was sitting over there, and he's watching the Patriots game, and he looks over and he's like, what the fuck? And like we're all like, what did we just watch? Like how? And I go, it's that Tay voodoo. It's like Taylor Swift is fucking up there.
Listen, I do not doubt that there is a level, and especially Travis Kelce, it's like he sees his girl up there, he wants to be impressive.
But the thing is
like of course he's gonna play a little bit better.
But like
it's natural.
But like but the thing is like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce were on the sideline. They had nothing to do with that play.
Well, and that's what's wild. It's like it surprised like truly everyone, and it's so weird too because it's like that is such a it feels like this season, especially now lately, like the last 3 weeks, there's been absolutely crazy gameplays.
Oh yeah,
like, and I feel like it's just because we're getting closer to Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, but there's also all the drama. All like the Aaron Rodgers stuff, like it's all crazy.
But I feel like that was going to happen regardless because Aaron Rodgers.
So the Lions. Here's another one. The Lions were playing the Texans, and the Texans showed up in these red, like, battle cry fucking uniform. Oh, they were so cool. Like, I can't even be mad at the Texans. I am mad at the Bengals right now. I'm super pissed at the Bengals because they traded Joe Mixon. Oh. And he's on the Texans, and all the things that made Joe Mixon special with the Bengals and why like the Bengals were like crushing it and made it to the Super Bowl. It wasn't all Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon was making things happen, and so they got rid of his ass, and now the Texans are making shit happen because they have Joe Mixon now, and I'm like, ugh!
When was the last time the Texans have been to a fucking Super Bowl?
It's been a long time.
I mean,
but like
honestly.
The Texans, man, they played oh my god, they intercepted the ball. So like they had what's the Lions quarterback? I can't think of him right now, and I'm sorry guys, but that dude had like he threw 5 interceptions. The Texans intercepted 5 passes. Right?
That's insane.
And the Lions still came back and won by like a point.
I was about to say, don't you think they're going to the Super Bowl? I
think they're going. I'm not the only. I've been saying this since day one because they were 1 game away from the Super Bowl last year, so they're coming back with a vengeance this year. So the Lions, I'm like, it'll be the Lions and the Chiefs.
Okay.
And I should probably start, like, I don't ever bet on games, but I think you can start betting on who's going to be in the Super Bowl, and I think that I'm going to bet on that. I actually think I might bet on that. And
I shouldn't touch it.
But so they Jonathan no, oh fuck, what's his I'm thinking of the quarterback. But anyway, so they were down by a point, and the or they were down all game, and it was coming down to like a point or two. I can't really remember, but here's the thing: is like the Texans missed a field goal.
Well,
so
that probably messed him up.
So the Lions, in like the last minute of the game, got down to field goal range.
Oh,
or not even field goal range. It was like so the Texans missed a 54-yard field goal, I believe.
Okay.
And so that gave the Lions the ball back, and they were at 52 yards.
Oh, I see.
And their former soccer player, brick salesman, kicker,
did it,
made it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes,
that's right.
And so then the Lions came back and won.
Damn.
And that was some shit.
You know that man's got so much money, he doesn't know what to do with himself right now.
And
you know he's like, well, I'm just making my career for next year. Mm-hmm. That's all I can do.
Yeah. So
with the Lord in my hands.
So then, Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers played Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, and that was an intense game. Like the Washington Commanders, once again, Jaden Daniels is doing so many good things for that team. Yeah. I give them about 2 years before they're Super Bowl contenders.
Oh, okay.
Okay, like that kid was a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
So they were down by a point at the very end of the game.
Okay.
And there was like less than a minute left.
Okay.
And the Steelers had the ball, and it was 4th and 1. So they could have just gone for it. Or they could have like kicked it. So they're like, okay, we're gonna go for it.
Okay.
But here's the thing, is they were taunting the Commanders.
Oh.
And so like this was what could have happened.
Okay.
They could have stopped the Steelers from getting a first down.
Okay.
Okay. And then got the ball back. Either pulled a Hail Mary or made it all the way down to like at least field goal range, kick the field goal and won. Like that could have happened.
Okay.
But instead, the Steelers, when they were lined up, ready to hike the ball.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
They, I guess, were taunting the Commanders, and so somebody jumped off sides.
Is that what happened? You sent me a video, and I was like, I don't know what happened.
Somebody jumped off sides, and that is an automatic first down. And so the Steelers,
I saw it's like the taunting worked.
Yes,
like, I think that's when Russell Lee Boy was like doing his little dancey dance. He was
yes,
like, I did it.
Oh yeah, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, and that guy, and as soon as he did it, he knew he messed up, and then it was so funny
it's
because
stupid to fall for that shit at like. You're at the NFL. You don't think you think taunting is still going to work on you guys? Like that's like such an elementary move.
So then the Steelers head coach like goes in for like the press conference, and that's why I did a little video on it.
Oh, okay.
That's where it came from. They go, so coach, were you gonna go for it? And he was like, I guess we'll never know. But you know I'm a degenerate, so I was like, oh shit.
No.
Oh, and then LSU lost really badly. Hold on.
Oh. I saw you give up your
I was so angry.
I saw you give up your jersey.
Okay, so that
to Alabama too.
No, okay, here's the thing. This is what happened. So that video somebody sent me so somebody sent me that video.
Okay.
And it was that video was actually from 2020. And really?
That
video was from 2020. Because that was against Auburn. I was at Amy's bar. I was at Wahoo's watching the game while Amy was bartending, and that was LSU. Auburn in 2020, and I one of my buddies,
4 years later,
one of my friends somehow still had that video and like sent it to me mid-game and was like, are you having one of these days? And so I thought it was so funny.
Afterwards, you gonna tell me who it is?
Yes. And it was so funny that I was like, I'm gonna repost it, and right now it's at 20,000 views.
I was gonna say it's like a funny video. I need to check. See, it's so funny because it's like you can tell what year it is from Jessica's hair pretty much, and I need to check the hair. I need to check the color.
No, it was 2020 because I was fat. So
I wouldn't say that.
but we had all gained that like quarantine 15.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I actually stayed the same. It wasn't until I gained 10 pounds towards the end of it.
I was so angry at work on Saturday.
That's so funny.
I was so angry. I was like, it was amateur hour because we're talking like Vanderbilt, a fucking high school team, beat Alabama, and LSU can't get more than 3 points, like, or more than 6. Like, it was bad. It was like
they need a rest day.
It ended up they had 2 weeks to prepare. They had a bye week. They always have a bye week right before the Alabama game. Every year they always have a bye week, so they have they have 2 weeks to prepare for that game. 2 weeks,
and that's what they did.
And they lost 41-13.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
It was ugly.
That's pretty bad.
I couldn't believe, and it was raining, but like the mistakes we were making.
I mean, you could do better than 3 points. That's just a field goal.
Their LSU is paying Coach Kelly $64 million. $64 million.
I would be so mad if I was the arts
NFL
department.
Coaches don't get paid this, by the way.
I would be so mad if I was the arts department. Because they're not putting a quarter of that in their music.
It's the boosters. The football boosters. So it's not even the school paying them.
Oh, okay, good.
It's the boosters. So like alumni, they get together. Like I learned this from like Friday Night Lights. But like the alumni, like the rich alumni that like put into that are like putting into the football program.
Yeah.
They're the ones that fund the coaches.
First of all, okay, so that means coach is making... So, okay, now another question is, if you're in college football and you're on the team, does that mean you have a scholarship to the school?
No.
So these boys are playing...
So, like, Georgia Tech.
Uh-huh.
Georgia fucking Tech, by the way, beat University of Miami. And those guys, like, the thing about Georgia Tech is you have to be, like... They're, like, geniuses over there.
Oh, okay.
They're like, they're really smart. So not only are they like, they're like nerds out there playing football and crushing it.
Well, not for
they're all engineers. They're all like, that's an engineering school. Like they're all engineers.
That's really interesting. Just because it's like, I can't imagine wanting to play football so bad and then having to go in order to be like, okay, so my dream is the NFL. So then that means I have to pay so much money in like practice, football, all that stuff. Then I'm spending so much because by the time you get to that level, coaches and shit are. So
you do get scholarships, but you still have to have the grades. Like you can get scholarships, but you have to have the grades. Because if you don't have the grades,
well, I imagine if you don't have the grades, you can't even play on the field,
right?
So it's like, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm gonna be like Joe Burrow couldn't get a fucking scholarship, like. I guess he pays off his student loans now, though.
I mean, yeah. So, he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Is he really? Good for him.
Which is fucking annoying because he's sucking this year. No, he's not sucking. He just doesn't have Joe Mixon because the Cincinnati Bengals made a huge mistake. No. So LSU lost, and so I was like, can we finally talk about? Okay, so when they fired Coach Orgeron, they had to pay him out his contract.
Yeah.
So
Why did they fire him?
What?
Why did they fire him?
Girl, I mean, this is all rumor and speculation.
I wasn't there.
But there was like, because I heard this from a couple of other like LSU alumni, including some who live here and are in shows.
Uh-huh.
Coach O was like, there was some trafficking going on. Like he was paying for like hookers for the kids.
Oh, I believe that. He's like, boys, you play well, you get your wee wee sucked.
Pretty much, I
Can you imagine? Like, boys, I need you to play well. We're going to Pahrump.
Yeah, like I mean, on top of like he was cheating on his listen, he was cheating on his wife, and I was like, listen, as long as he's winning football games, what the fuck? But like,
I mean, that's what they pay him for.
Whatever. So like, I don't care. But so they like got rid of him, but they still had to pay out his contract and then come up with another salary. $64 million for Coach Brian Kelly, who coached for Notre Dame. And Notre Dame, when's the last time you heard Notre Dame win a championship? Even though they just played. Dude, they played Florida State. I think it was Notre Dame played
beat somebody.
Notre Dame played Florida State, and it was ugly. It was like 52-3. Yeah. Like it was insane. No. It was worse. It was worse. But like so then I get on like the LSU like alumni page, and I'm like, can we finally talk about getting rid of this fucker?
Yeah.
Like, can we just finally get rid of him? And they're like, we can't afford to because they paid him $64 million. So they have to like.
How long is his contract?
We're stuck with him for another 3 or 4 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and we've already had him for like 3. Yeah.
Why would you sign a contract?
I don't know. They were like, he's good with recruiting. Okay, I'll give you Jaden Daniels, but really, we haven't won a national championship under that guy yet.
Well, and not only that, the team is just.
Yeah.
I mean,
we play Vanderbilt next week, and that's the team that beat Alabama, so I'm not exactly like enthused.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I mean, maybe they got their ass chewed out, so now they want to play.
So Ole Miss beat Georgia. And they stormed the field before the game was over.
Oh. Y'all can't do that.
Do you know how much money Ole Miss has to pay UGA now?
Oh, how much?
$350,000.
You know what? I feel like that's like 10 people's tuitions.
Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys get to pay for it. Like, honestly, 300 is not that bad. It would be annoying reoccurring, but like.
So it's 100,000 for the first offense, and 250,000 if it's for the second. If it's your second offense.
I see, and then third offense it goes up to 300.
Well, so it was 100. So it became 350,000 because the game wasn't over yet.
Oh. They're like, we're charging you double.
Yeah.
We're charging you both, motherfuckers.
Game was not over.
Did they? Okay, see, like, okay, this is where I can understand why, like, they started making, like, different rules. Because it's like, okay, we understand you're having fun. You want to storm the field. But, like, you have to wait till the game's over.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop being stupid.
Last week when Ole Miss won their game, they tried to tear down the goalpost, but they couldn't get it out of the stadium.
Out of their own stadium?
Yeah.
I still think someone owns rights in the goalpost.
That's so funny.
You know, the president of the school is like, I have 56% share of goalposts.
So funny.
Like,
oh man. Well, it wouldn't be a reality check show if we didn't get into celebrity drama.
Oh my god, Jessica, I don't think you understand. Do you see the notes I have on this?
This is okay.
Like I got so into it. Man, this is just from the podcast I watched of her, but like, I was like, I was judging her so much, and it's interesting because I didn't realize she was the same person that I had watched on another podcast, and she was just being really mean to her friend. And I was like, bitch, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? And then I found out Zach Bryan. And I said, oh.
So it was so funny because, like, the way that she was talking about Zach Bryan reminded me of, like, conversations that you and I have had in the past.
Listen, at one point in the notes, I was like, that sound familiar?
Yeah, no, because she was like, I was kind of heartbroken. Like, I just got a relationship and I was heartbroken. But, like, my friends were like, fuck it, it's Zach Bryan, have a good time. I was like, yeah, Callie would say that to me. Callie has actually said that to me.
Yes, like,
she has literally said that to me.
No, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. So Zach Bryan and his girlfriend, Brianna, what's her name? ChickenFry?
Yeah.
That's her like thing. That's her like social media name or something. But
Yeah.
they were together for a year. They broke up. And I'm not gonna lie, the drama that came out of this, I'm so proud of her. Let me just say, I'm so proud of her for like
She turned down $12 million.
She turned down $12 million, which we'll definitely get into. So yeah, Zach Bryan and then Brianna ChickenFry broke up. And what's really fucked up about it is like he posted she was like, can we please just have a week of just like, let me be able to tell my friends and family. Let me just like calm down. And he posted the next fucking day.
I felt this
because deep in my bones.
Because I experienced this.
Oh. So like hold on.
Wait.
So oh God. Okay. I'm gonna get into the breakup and then I'll get into the podcast.
Okay.
So she gets broken up with. Okay. So but this is what's so funny too, because like there's so many different snippets of different people, even in your life, that I was like, oh no, that one's that one. Oh, there goes that one.
Yeah.
But like, so they got into a big fight. Okay, let me rewind. She stopped her life for a year to go on tour with him.
Yeah.
And she needed to go on tour for her own podcast, for her own career.
Yes.
In the 2 months he had off, she was going to go do her tour.
Right.
Now, she was expected to be a good little girl and be super supportive and always be there and be at every show and all this other stuff. But when the roles became reversed, he was like partying every night. Like, he refused to go see her on tour, but then did a pop-up show in New York.
He offered to pay her to like not do her podcast.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Well, he also did you also like so
I watched the whole podcast twice.
Okay, so he got a tattoo. Like he got a
I get into that too. Trust me, I get into
all kinds of shit.
So yeah, that's why I was like, I'll go through the breakup and then I'll go through the podcast.
Okay, got you.
Because the breakup is how it got started for all of us, and then I'll get into the podcast too. So she goes on tour, and in the middle of the tour, he breaks up with her. And like leaves her devastated, and she even says like, you could see the light leave my eyes throughout the tour because I am just so devastated. And so she goes on tour. He's not supportive. He's like actually being really mean to her. He breaks up with her halfway through, and then she comes home, and like the next day he's like, yeah, you got to move out of the house.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, fuck me. Oh my God. Da 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 da. He calls her and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I want to get back together. So she's like, okay, let's get back together. This is a common thing with them, I'm finding. And so they get back together, and he, out of nowhere, is just being really cold, really distant. He never apologizes for breaking up with her. He never apologizes for anything that he does while she's on tour. He's getting drunk almost every night, having parties, like all this other stuff he's kind of blaming her for his alcoholism. Like, you didn't come home. So because you were doing something for yourself, I was behaving badly, and that's your fault. And so it's like, okay, guy, take it down a step. And so she has this weird feeling, and she's like, I think you're going to break up with me. I don't know why. You're leaving. Like, he was leaving to go do something, probably tour again or something like that. And she's like, I feel like this is the last time I'm going to see you. And he was like, don't be fucking stupid. And then she never saw him again. And then he wouldn't answer her calls or text her or anything. And she's like, what are we? What the fuck's going on? So she still thinks they're in a relationship. And then finally, over text message, he breaks up with her.
I feel like I went through that too.
That's what I said. There's a lot of them like, oh, this one did that. Like, so he finally breaks up with her in a text message. And she goes, okay, well, I don't want anybody to know. That night, he makes a Raya account, and Raya is for like the celebrities.
It's like a Bumble but celebrity app.
So, yeah. So then, technically, when you join Raya, you're not supposed to say like you're.
Isn't that like where like Simone Biles met Jonathan Owens? Yeah.
And also like who else met on Raya? I don't know, a few people met on Raya, but if like you and I were to get on Raya, first of all, we have to have like enough social media standing and all this other stuff. But if we talk about that we have profiles on Raya, they'll get rid of our profiles because it's supposed to be like an inclusive, dating site for people not to know.
Oh, like,
for like
super exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that doesn't happen anymore. Honestly, Raya's kind of lost its touch that way. So anyways, so Brianna gets all these text messages that night saying like, hey, your boy is on Raya right now. Like, he's trying to date. Your boyfriend's cheating on you. Because nobody knows that they had broken up because it was the same day they broken up.
Yeah.
And she texts him. He deactivates his account, goes on Instagram, posts about the breakup, and then reactivates his account the same day.
Zach Bryan is such a piece of shit.
I mean, listen.
Yes. I mean,
he's had so many posts that he said some really racist,
he said
nasty
some
ass
shit about like Kanye being. Oh my god! The second he made a post saying that Kanye was better than Taylor Swift, and that got the Swifties and the prince of the Swifties, because let's face it, Flava Flav is King Swiftie, and Dave Portnoy is like prince of the Swifties at this point. And you don't fuck with Dave Portnoy and Taylor Swift.
Well, what's really interesting, I almost feel like he said that to piss off Dave Portnoy.
Well, it fucking worked.
Because it's like he always made jabs towards her friends. He was always like, and this is what.
Well, you know what happened is he had to make a public. He got so much backlash for that. He had to make a public apology. He had to make a public apology and blame it on drinking.
Well, it sounds like he's a crazy alcoholic, honestly.
He's insane.
Well, and like, that's what's crazy. So people started noticing the patterns. They were like, I think it's really weird that Zach Bryan, like, fucking meets a girl, gets a dog with her, and then moves to her hometown, buys a house in her hometown, and then breaks up with her.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a reoccurring thing. Which I'm like, why are you buying homes in her hotel?
You heard the Morgan Wallen story, right?
Yeah, it's in there. Trust me. Oh yeah.
Did you see my TikTok?
I haven't really been on social media.
Okay, because I definitely did a TikTok about this.
That's funny. Yeah, so
I don't know when I have an idea for a TikTok for this, and we're gonna have to do it. Yeah.
So and then so finally they come out and talk about their breakup. She comes out and she's like, yeah, we broke up, that sucks. Dave Portnoy then releases a diss track. And then by the way, Dave Portnoy needs to never rap again. It was funny.
But listen, Dave Portnoy's not serious.
No, like,
he's just like you just came for one of my employees.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna come for you.
Which I'm gonna tell you, Dave Portnoy has a lot more to do with like the breakup bullshit too, which is wild how focused Zach Bryan was on Dave. Like how focused he is.
So weird.
So he releases a diss track. By the way, Zach Bryan and like Warner Brothers have gotten this thing taken down multiple times. So only people can repost it. Like people have reposted it over and over, but even their accounts have it taken down. So like to try to find the song is really hard. I'm kind of half tempted to post it to make sure everyone can hear it. And so
we should just like repost it, like, but we should like post like the sound, and that's just like,
so it can be a review. But like, it's this, I don't know, it's so crazy. And what really gets me is like, she has a podcast that talks about celebrity news and stuff. And I'm kind of sitting here like, you're really playing with fucking fire, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she's had this podcast the whole time you've known her. And like,
this sounds like it sounds like me. Oh my god, there's a lot of parallels.
I'll put it back in here. There's a lot of like, oh, that's what that one did.
Yeah,
it was like, oh
I'm like on 3 boyfriends right now.
No, real talk, like separate ones. And it's so funny because there's one in particular that there's actually a couple of them. So yeah, so she's like. So she has a whole podcast about herself, right? And so she talks about how she was offered $12 million to talk about, to shut up.
Yeah, $12 million NDA to like not talk about it.
Yeah.
And she was like, fuck you.
Well, no, that's not what happened.
She didn't take it.
She didn't take it. But it, like, the whole entire way this came about is fucking crazy. So first they come and go, hey, we want you to sign an NDA. We'll give you a New York apartment. Then they change their mind. We'll give you the house. Then they change their mind. Oh, we'll give you $12 million. And then they change their mind. Oh, we'll give you this amount. Then they changed their mind. Then they said, we'll give you $12 million. we'll give you 500. We'll give you 500,000 right this second. Some of it would be paid out within 3 years, and you'd have to sign your NDA. And then, for some reason, this all happened within 3 days, and it gave her time long enough to realize she doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
And she didn't need it.
No.
But what was also crazy was towards the end, she was going to take it. She was going to take it. And she was all ready. And then they put in a clause about Dave Portnoy not being able to talk about it. And she goes, what does he have to do with anything? And they started adding clauses. And she finally, and so Dave Portnoy goes, just pay her the fucking money. If you want her to shut the fuck up, just pay her the fucking money. And then Zach Bryan.
By the way, that's a sound on TikTok that people are using now. Yeah. And I'm going to find a way to use it.
So then Zach Bryan's lawyers go, that's extortion. And she goes, well, I don't want to extort you, so I'm not going to take the money. So Zach Bryan's lawyers fucked it up for him. She was going to sign it. And now she's going, I'm fucking glad I didn't, because now I get to talk about it.
Yeah.
And see how much of a piece of shit you are. So his own lawyers, which I'm like, how fucking arrogant of a man do you have to be to think that she's just going to go off with her 12 million and be happy after all the shit? And she gets to talk about it now?
Last night, we let the liquor talk.
So this poor girl's going through all of this bullshit. And so I'm like, she has a podcast. Like, why are you letting her? Like, she even said she was going to sign it immediately, but then they kept on changing the rules. And that's why she didn't sign it.
Last night, we let the liquor talk.
And then, like, so now they're going after Dave Portnoy. They go after the fucking Peaches. That's the dog's name, right?
Dude, Zach Bryan kicked Miss Peaches out of his dressing room.
Well, I mean, kind of. So what happened was she was like, hey, Brianna was like, hey, Dave wants to bring Peaches. And, like, is that okay?
Peaches is like the dog ambassador to, like, rescue dogs.
Yeah, and she's also, like, really chill. Like,
she gets into
trash,
stuff, but she's not, like...
Yeah. And so it was okay, yeah, Dave can bring the dog. So the dog was allowed to come.
Yeah.
And then Dave kept on checking on Peaches during the show, and he catches fucking Zach moving Peaches to a more dangerous area.
Yes. I saw that part, yes.
And to a more dangerous area of like a locker room. And he was like, oh, I hope you don't mind. Which I'm like, first of all, if you're moving my dog, you need to talk to me before you do it. Because what if Peaches was already in the locker room, you were walking back to the room, and I was walking to the original room, and I didn't know where my fucking dog was.
Right, yeah.
Like, why are you moving my dog without talking to me first? Or have me move the dog. Like, just tell me, like, you knew I was walking back and forth over and over. Like, what the fuck is the issue?
Yeah.
So he's just making issue to make issue at this point. Zach is. And so she, like I said, she went on this long year tour, and then as soon as she needed him to also show up the way she was expected to show up for him, it was no, I'm not doing that. And was mad at her for going on tour. Mm-hmm. And like you said, she was offered double her contract amount from the BFFs podcast from Zach. Say, I will pay you this much not to work.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, that's fucking weird.
Well, they got into a massive fight because, like, there was one day where, like, she had, like, Morgan Wallen's song. Like, I think she was like coming down the stairs or something, and she was just, like, singing. She's like, last night we let the liquor talk, and like she was just singing, like, she just had the song, and he like lashed out, so like, bad. How dare you sing another man's song under my roof?
Yeah, which, like, by the way, and I guess he said it about somebody else too, but, like, to me, it's like, how insecure are you?
Yeah.
Like, how insecure are you?
Yeah.
To fucking be like, you can't sing another man's song in my house? I can't sing Johnny Cash? Listen, this is where I'm a different bitch. This is where I am a different bitch, because I would have played it so loud.
Yeah. Well, that's why
it's so loud.
There's the Bruins fucking hockey team. Like, each player on that team was like, last night, like
Everyone.
individually.
Yeah.
Like they're just like their social media team was like, last night we let the liquor talk, and then the next player would walk by like
blah,
singing along.
blah, blah, blah,
Last
blah, blah,
night we let the liquor talk, and like every player was just walking by like, I have a song like last night, and they were all singing the same fucking Morgan Wallen song, and I was like, oh my god, like whoever runs this social media team is like,
well, and like it's so crazy too because like, so she wanted to get a Bronco, okay, like a Ford Bronco,
yeah,
and she really wanted the Bronco, and she was able to pay for the Bronco,
yeah,
and she wanted to go and buy herself a Bronco. Zach said, "You're not allowed. I want to get you the Bronco." And she goes, "Well, I have the money. This is going to be my first big purchase by myself.
yeah.
I would love to do it by myself." And he was like, no, and insisted. He goes off and does a Ford thing. She thinks he got the Bronco to do a Ford gig, which to me it sounds like she was like, "Oh, I want a Bronco." And he was like, "Well, I can do this and then I get to claim a gift." So now they're broken up and she's like, "What the fuck do I do with the Bronco?" The Bronco's in her name, by the way. So she goes, "I don't know if he paid for it, but I offered to pay for it."
Oh, that's why, like, when she did a video from the Bronco and everyone's like, it is so awesome that you're doing this.
Yeah. So she's like, "I'll pay for the Bronco. I'll reimburse you. I'll do whatever. I just want to keep my car." And he's like, "Nope, we're repossessing it. I'm taking it." Won't even let her pay for it. But I don't think he paid for it to begin with.
No.
So, like, I mean, that's not fact. So I thought that was really, like, it's just, like, so many little controlling ways. Also, one thing that really stood out is he got, like you said, the tattoos.
He got the tattoo, like, 2 days after.
She
said there was a lot of love bombing going on.
Yeah, so what happened was they were talking for a week. He goes, "I'm going to do this massive road trip. You should come with me." And she was like, "Okay, why not?" Because it's like,
yeah,
like you said, okay, go out. Yeah, oh my God, it's a superstar. Like, go fucking do it.
Yeah.
I mean, a road trip is a lot.
If a certain pop star had said that to me, I know damn well you'd have been like, fuck yeah, go ahead.
So I was like, okay, after a week, and there was a lot of love bombing, and then that's when he got the tattoo. They got matching tattoos, but he like insisted on it. And I'm sorry, if a man is ever insisting to mark my body.
She got it right here, and so people were like, "Are you gonna get that covered up?" And she's like, "No, I got it for me. Like, this is just."
Oh no, she said she was gonna get rid of it in the podcast.
Oh well, she said on another video that she was gonna just keep it because she did.
Like, I gotta get laser hair. I mean, get laser removal now.
No, she said in a separate video, she's like, "No, I think I did this for me. I didn't really do it for him. I did it for me."
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's. Listen, she'll probably go back and forth with it 9,000 times too, but so then he's like doing all this, but what really was like would have been like the actual final straw, I'd be like, "You're absolutely out of my life. I'm moving out of the house. I'm not giving you the option of breaking up with me. I'm not doing any of that." Was her birthday. And
oh my God, her birthday.
Yeah.
That was so crazy.
So a birthday trip, he bought an Airbnb for her and her family and her friends.
Oh my God,
and I think it's interesting because what really speaks out to me is her going, "I told him not to come. He had 3 days off that they planned her birthday for. And he got an Airbnb. So they go he shows up and she's like begging him not to come, which I think is like red flag. You already know he's going to ruin your night because what he does is ruin everything she enjoys.
Yeah.
I mean, reoccurring. The tour ruins it.
That's why he wanted her to sign the NDA because he didn't want people to know what a bad guy he is.
Exactly. And I think he's used to dealing with women with a average income where 12 million is life-changing.
Yeah.
Where for her, 12 million is more obtainable with what she's doing.
Yes.
So it's like, good for you, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, to be in that position, good for you. So he gets this Airbnb. It's like 11 o'clock before her birthday. And she's like, "I think I want to go." Because he keeps on calling her friend stupid.
She wanted to go to bed because she wanted to
him to go to bed. Because he was drunk.
Oh, but I thought she said that she wanted to go to bed because she wanted it. Because everyone was like, no, it's your birthday. And she's like, "No, I want to wake up on my birthday." Yeah, but she wanted to go to bed.
That's what she was telling her friends.
Okay.
But he was calling all of her friends stupid and insulting them and trying to pick fights with all of her friends. And she was trying to get him to go to bed because he was too intoxicated.
Gotcha.
So, like, it'd be like, "Come on, babe, let's go to bed." And they're like, "No, you should stay until it's midnight." And she was like, "No, I'm just going to go to bed because it'll be better, da-da-da-da." But she was trying to coax him to come to bed with her.
Yeah.
Because he was acting a fool. I'm sorry. He was acting a fool. And then out of nowhere, she hears all this commotion happen. As she goes downstairs, her aunt is holding Zach Bryan back. All of her girlfriends are crying in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And by the way, first of all, I don't know why a man needs to intimidate a group of women. That's fucking disgusting. I think you're making women cry and you're calling them stupid. Like, that says more about you than anybody else. And I say that for any man that ever does that to a woman. Like, you don't need to insult somebody to the point, especially a group of women. Like, what were they saying to you that hurt your feelings so much that you have a small dick? You do.
Probably.
This is giving small dick energy. You're insecure.
That's why he's called the smallest man who ever lived.
Yeah, I mean, truly.
That's why, like, Brianna, like, on her, she did, like, a separate video, and she's like, now I'm starting to really get into Taylor Swift, and now I'm starting to understand why. And we're like,
see,
yes, because Zach Bryan is the smallest man who ever lived, and that's what we keep calling him, like, in all these videos.
Well, and that's another thing. So he does all of this, and she comes to find there's a video of it. There is a video. It's not out.
No.
This is why he wanted her to sign the NDA. There's a video of him just like out of fucking nowhere starting screaming at her friends over a campfire and just calling them all horrific things, like horrific names. He smashes her phone constantly. Like, her phone was already broken. She's like, this is like my 5th phone. He smashes it all the time. Which, if you're breaking phones, I'm also getting rid of you. I'm also breaking you. Like, my anger could never control myself. Like, if you smash my phone and break it, I'm actually breaking your face. I'll find a way.
Right.
Like, my anger could never. But this is the reason why he dates probably young girls who are also in this, like, oh, you have money? Oh, my goodness gracious. Look how great.
I'm starting to think. Who does that remind me of?
Anyways. But we also got to get into all the songs he stole from Taylor.
Oh my god. Okay,
well,
so
one of them I think is absolutely done on purpose.
So should have said no.
Yeah. That one is like
okay, one of them, yes, you're right. I think is absolutely done on purpose.
Oh yeah, should have said no and let you down.
Should have said no and let you down are the
like
same.
The same song.
And Taylor did that in 2006,
yeah.
right? So, like, you can't say, oh, well, because Zach Bryan has not been out since 2006.
No.
So, Taylor wrote that herself in 2006.
Yeah.
And the melodies, it was exactly the same. Like, I was like, no way. Like, because
I will say,
like, occasionally, like, you hear like like the Vanilla Ice thing, and
well, that's what I was gonna say. So that's where they do differ, but it's very much Vanilla Ice and like Queen. It doesn't go dun 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 dun. It goes dun 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 dun.
Oh, yeah,
it's just like
but should have said no and let you down are the same riff.
Yeah,
it's the same riff, the same melody. Like, I know somebody had said, like, oh, there's only so many chords, but there's like there's all kinds of melodies. And okay, depends. But still,
especially with the chord progressions he's going for. So I looked up the chord progressions because I was like, is it just the chord progressions that we're hearing? It's the little melodies. They are off by a couple notes, but it's the same thing that like Zayn did for having, and the Jonas Brothers did for having like the classic Phil Collins drum riff, the dun 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 dun. So like Jonas Brothers did dun 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 dun, and like you know what I mean, like little changes. So there's definitely was little changes, but not like
it was pretty close.
It was obvious that he was like, oh, I really like this guitar work.
Yeah. Well, then he did it again with so Taylor Swift's song Betty. She has the harmonica.
Yeah, that sounds.
And in the and then so if you go to Taylor Swift's album, like in Folklore, which I have over there, you can look it up, and she has the person that played the harmonica on that song listed.
I'm gonna burst your bubble on this one,
Okay. So you don't think it sounds exactly? It sounds
exactly like him, but the reason why he didn't list it was because it's him. He plays the harmonica.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not gonna list himself.
Okay, but it's still the same.
Oh, it's the same riff. Yeah, it's the same riff.
It's the same.
Even like the inhales and stuff, it's the same timing, it's the same chord progressions.
He didn't even try to hide it.
No. But when I say Brewster Bubble, because it was like, because I saw a lot of people like they didn't even note who did it, and I was like, well, he did it. Why would he? He's not posting. I wrote guitar. I mean, he fully writes and produces all his own music by himself.
So I'll give you that. Crazy. I'll give him that. But
yeah, which that's why, like, it's obvious that either someone said you need a Taylor sound, or he was like, hey, Taylor, what is Taylor's formula? And this like kind of takes it and he goes, this will work. And also his demographic is very different. So I'm not surprised he stole music, because he goes, fucking the blue collar men won't have any idea this is Taylor Swift from her fucking teenage albums.
Yeah, well, Betty was not her teenage album. Betty was her COVID album.
Yeah, but like that's what the blue collar man is listening to Betty on his way to work. No, he's listening to Zach Bryan, which I don't know anymore. Now Morgan Wallen.
So right, last night we let the liquor talk. Okay, so the other one was Dear John and Better Days. Now,
John Mayer's.
Let's go back to that one. I'm kind of like,
he did that on purpose.
That was on purpose. Yeah. Because here's why. So John Mayer has a song called Gravity. Mm-hmm. When Taylor Swift wrote Dear John, that guitar riff she has in the beginning sounded like Gravity, but she did it right? because it's about him.
Yeah.
So she 100% was like, that's a dig at John Mayer. Yeah. Like, that's how we were like, oh, fuck. Like, within the first 2 seconds of the song, we're like, fuck. Damn. But, like, the fact that Zach Bryan used John Mayer in that song to make it sound like, but he wasn't. But okay, this is the thing. I don't think he was trying to make it sound like Dear John. I think it was a dig at Taylor Swift.
Yes,
and also it's not stealing from Taylor Swift if John Mayer did it first.
Well, and it's funny because John Mayer plays on it too. So it's like, I almost feel like John Mayer and Zach Bryan are in the studio together talking shit about Taylor Swift, and then they came up with that song.
Yeah, but that would have been fine, except he used 2 of Taylor Swift's songs.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I think a lot of it is he hears, and I hate to be this way, but Zach Bryan, Morgan Wallen, I'll even put Jelly Roll in this, they have this like faux country thing going on, and there's only so many avenues. It's the same as Christian music. There's only so many avenues you can go with it.
Right.
And so the record label goes, hey, we want you to have a Taylor Swift type audience. We want you to have a Taylor Swift type poll. That's what we want. Because Taylor Swift, I mean, every record label is telling their artists, we want a Taylor Swift moment, you know? And I don't doubt that he was like, okay, like what was it? The Let You Down. I feel like that was written in his basement, probably after he heard Taylor Swift's song 9,000 times in like a grocery store somewhere, and he was like, oh, I have this melody in my head. But now you have and what's really weird is the Better Days with John Mayer and the Pink Skies is both on the same album, the newest album. So I just think it's weird. They're both on the same album, and you took 2 of the songs. That's what I mean. Like, I can understand. My Chemical Romance did it with Coldplay. Like, their I Don't Love You, My Chemical Romance's I Don't Love You is the exact fucking same as one of the Coldplay songs. And
but I'm sure they paid Coldplay for those.
I have no idea what they did, because if they didn't, they would be sued, because it's so spot on.
Well, they've
never given Coldplay a shout out, though.
And so it was so funny because people are like, if Taylor Swift, and it's so funny because like even like Dave Portnoy, like he gets on like TikTok and he's like, we don't know if he's really texting Tree Payne, which is Taylor's publicist, but he's like, Tree, you got to get on this, like these songs, like check these songs.
That's
like,
funny.
Yeah, get your money. Like
That's
get
so funny.
like yeah.
I just don't know how this man. I mean, honestly,
this man is
didn't
trash.
he also do a music video and like it just didn't translate well because he did it in some like. He was singing about like how we're gonna take back this country, and he's sitting in front of like a plantation.
That's not him. That's Jason Aldean.
Oh, what was the first TikTok we sent each other? I was like, okay, Zach Bryan, not Morgan Wallen, not Jason Aldean, because we like all confused them as the same person.
Listen, I love Gillies, but I could not tell you. I could not when I go to see Rob Staley and he's singing like Toby Keith or like
George Strait.
George Strait. Oh, he loves George Strait.
Yeah, George Strait, honestly, you can tell George Strait song.
Rob loves George Strait.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, anybody have like real, like, no, like all the, like, Brad Paisley and what's his face that's over at fucking Caesars. That's, you know, like
Keith Urban.
Not Keith Urban, but
well, that's where I saw Keith Urban.
Oh yeah, no,
I forgot he did.
But like, I just, you know, they all sound. I wouldn't know you from a ham sandwich.
No.
But I mean, Morgan Wallen. The way that I got to know Morgan Wallen is during COVID when he was banging all these Alabama sorority chicks.
I forgot he did that.
And every night he was with a different girl.
Well, it's so funny because I had the realization. I was like, wait, was Morgan Wallen calling out all the shows, or did I think Zach Bryan and Morgan Wallen were the same person? So when they were both calling out shows, I just assumed one person was calling out all these shows.
Honestly, I thought last night we let the liquor talk was Zach Bryan. I didn't know. I'm not a Morgan Wallen. I don't know. I know one song from Morgan Wallen, and it's about the Tennessee. I know you did, and it's about like how much he hates Tennessee.
Oh yeah. I mean, I saw,
or not Tennessee. Sorry, he's from Tennessee. How much he hates Alabama. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's interesting too because like these guys, I'm not gonna lie. Like even when I saw Morgan Wallen, like I kind of look at these people and I'm kind of like, Zach Bryan was like the country boy down south that like came out of nowhere during COVID.
Okay, yeah, because like there's Zach Bryan and Luke Bryan, and I'm like,
oh yeah, maybe. Oh god damn it!
See, because Chad Collins does Luke Bryan in Myrtle Beach, so they're all
guys. We don't know who we're talking.
We don't
about.
know.
I literally brown hair.
So I'm like seeing pictures of Zach Bryan, and I'm like, ew.
I was that man.
Oh man, this ugly ass man broke this woman's heart and offered her $12 million.
I mean, listen, he also had an issue with one of her dresses. She had this beautiful
her Globe's dress. Oh,
white dress, and it had a high slit, and I thought it was very, very Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, it was so beautiful,
very tasteful.
Oh,
it covered everything, but it's still very sexy. And of course, he posts on Instagram, "Oh, look how hot my babe is," but in real life, he's yelling at her. About it. Men. What did we want to say?
Stop giving men microphones.
Also, I don't know. I feel like Sarah Hester Ross needs a song about killing men. Maybe that's just Calethea, but
oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What if you and Sarah Hester Ross had a collab, but you were like Calethea?
Yes. We should write a song. Okay. Well, we're gonna contact Sandy.
Hope for the best on that one.
Right? Oh God. Well, that's our new show, guys.
All right.
I mean, that's it.
We hope to be somewhere else next time. We'll see.
Well, next time we're probably gonna be at my house for Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, you're right. We will. Mm-hmm. So, are we taking a break?
Well, we'll just have our normal week off, and then
because next week is our week off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then that's Thanksgiving.
And then the week after that is Thanksgiving.
And
so we'll have
record Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We talked about him.
Okay.
We'll see who shows up to Thanksgiving, then we'll decide.
We'll see who shows up to Thanksgiving.
It's just Jessica and I. I love this fucking food. Sounds like a dream.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna sound like a dream.
I'm gonna bring some liquor.
Exactly.
Do I need to bring the Wild Roots pear?
I have a little bit. We might buy a new bottle because actually I might. No, bring Wild Roots pear.
I have tons of. Yeah. I've got almost a whole bottle of apple cinnamon.
Okay, yeah, bring the pear for sure because we have like this much left.
Okay, I'll bring that. Yeah. So anyway, and I'll have some stories to tell from next week.
Yes, and like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. That is our show for this week.
All right.
Bye. Bye.